are some of the struggles or commonalities in the struggles that they experience as a single father moving forward from the situation that has unfortunately ended?
Yeah, I mean, there are common struggles that well, some of the most common struggles that they have is we've already talked about a little bit. There's definitely that common feeling of feeling isolated and feeling alone, not just from a societal standpoint, but even within their own families. A loss of friendships, a loss of joint friendships that they had with their spouse, and now they've lost a lot of contact with those individuals. There's also this feeling of really kind of questioning their abilities. This feeling of, am I capable of um, providing for my kids the things that they need? Am I capable of providing both that? They wouldn't word it this way, but what it comes down to, am I capable of providing both that kind of structure and support that they need, while at the same time also providing that emotional and nurturing piece that they need. And that is something that they struggle with. But the way it comes out is, I just don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have what it takes to connect with my kids. Or I am just worried I'm going to screw my kids up. That's really all I want from you, Rob. I want to have a conversation about how I cannot screw my kids up any worse than we already have. And it's kind of a harsh way to look at yourself if you're in that situation, but I get it because I felt those things too. And then the another really common struggle, and this probably won't surprise you, is just the struggle of trying to balance all the responsibilities. It'd be easy to say work-life balance, but it's so much more than work and life. It's all those things that fall under work and fall under life. It's the financial piece, like what I shared. I feel like I now have additional financial stresses, but in order to meet those financial demands, it takes away from the time I have with my family. Or I'm trying to be there for my family, but by doing that, I am giving up a part of myself, and I'm giving up my own kind of self care and personal health. And there's just so many different elements to balance that kind of get overlooked because the scales are not just twofold. It's not just work life. There's more like 10, 12 things within different domains of our life that all need to be kind of balanced. And by balance, I don't mean equal balance, but I mean there needs to be integration and harmony and between all those different areas of our life, really for us to reach our potential and to be the best father we can be for our kids.
I look at some of the men that I've communicated with who are separated, divorced, or who are living common law, but they're single fathers nonetheless from their current situation. And one thing that I have noticed from them is that they try to make sure that they can experience a different type of love than the one they had previously. So, for example, if they were married and they were the type to shower her with gifts, provide her all this time, if that ends, they tend to negotiate within themselves, saying, I'm not going to give this type of love because this type of love led to this type of outcome. And then the next person may get a version of themselves, which isn't true to who they really are. They may enjoy these small things. They may enjoy saying that I love you. They may enjoy showering her gifts, but because they were quote unquote burned from a past relationship, they're kind of hesitant to love the same way because it hurts. Did you feel the pain from the type of love that you gave when your relationship ended and in your subsequent relationships afterwards?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a very deep and complex question because it really is. Because first of all, yes, I did experience some of that. And you know, I would really have to get introspective to really kind of understand like exactly what I was feeling or thinking. I can just speak to what I did and what my actions were. Um, because what you're describing essentially is almost like a form of overcompensating for things that have happened in the past. And I think that's natural for all of us, right? Whether it's a marriage relationship or a friendship or a job or whatever that relationship or that whatever that relationship is, when you get burned, your response is to do things differently the next time. But I feel like you're making a good point. You're asking a question, but you're making a really solid point, which is that how is that actually going to work out for you if you're not being true to yourself and if you're not being the person that you are? Um, so I don't know, and I hate to give that answer, but I don't know exactly how it affected me. I do know that it affected me, but I can say that my dating life following my the breakup of my marriage um, was all over the map. And so I've dated people that were just like my ex-wife, and I've dated people that were very different, complete polar opposites. And I'm actually kind of in this period right now where I am have chosen not to date for a period of time while I am focusing on some other things. And that's a personal decision. That's not a recommendation that I would give to other people necessarily. But that's something that I've felt that I needed to do for me, based on kind of some things that I'm pursuing and what I'm doing in my life right now. So I apologize for not giving a more direct answer, but that's the best I can do for you there.
No, that's perfectly fine. It reminded me when you're discussing that of a situation that I went through when one of my relationships ended. I took about 12 months between my next relationship. I was interacting with people of the opposite sex, but it wasn't anything serious, or I wasn't doing anything that would have complicated the relationship for those who could read between the lines. And one thing that I learned is that I had a lot of growing up to do. I felt that the type of women that I wanted to be with at that point in my life, this was probably my late 20s, so it wasn't that long ago, wasn't the type of woman I was dating. I was dating women that were in my pool of dating because I strongly believe that each and every one of us in certain parts of our life attract certain types of people and then we just pick, right? There could be a time in our life where we're really down on our luck and the men or women around us are broken in a different way, perhaps. And that's what we're attracting because we're broken. So as I began to mature and change what I wanted, I started to be around better women, better by the criteria that I've established for myself. And I realized how immature that I was before because despite popular belief, it's not always the other person's fault. Some things I did wrong, and there's some things that she did wrong. And then we were just wrong for each other as time went on. We were right in the beginning, but then we just grew in two different ways.